Hello, I'm Billy. I've created a very small Arduboy compatible game console, the one on the left, and I want to share with you how I made this. I want to go over 1000 subscribers. I'm now still missing 200. If you like my videos, please help me to subscribe and ask your friends to subscribe too. Thank you. I call my creation the ArduBaby. One of the main features is the ability to swap the top board, which I call the button heads, with different types of button layout. So I don't want to have separate converter circuit. So the power module is also running at 3.3 volts. Then you have the OLED at the top left and also the battery. You also need a 3.3 volt version of USBasp to program the bootloader. There's a link on the video to show you how to get it and how to modify that to work in 3.3 volts. Most of these can be purchased from Amazon, AliExpress, or if you are in Asia, it can be purchased from Taobao.com. The whole game console is built using perf board, one on top, one in the bottom. So for the main board, we are going to cut it out to the right size so we can put components on it. same output is also connected to our Arduboy, the 80 mega 32U4 as a power supply. So we want to convert our power supply for the 80 mega 32U4 to run at 3.3 volt. So we need to use this AMS 1117 3.3 volt regulator, and we'll just solder it onto this here. Okay, so we just like what I said, trim off this tab and just put it on top like this. And then this will be the ground, this will be the input of the 5 volts, and then the middle pin will be the output, which is 3.3 volt. So we just solder this onto the same board like this, and this, and then take the output from here. To smooth the circuit, decouple any noise, we can solder in one of the surface mount 0.1 mil capacity between these two legs. Okay. We still connect the USB voltage, USB power input, and we take it from the raw pin of the Pro microchip. And then for the ground, we connect the grounds together, ground together. And then for the outputs, we solder the AMS. We solder the AMS 1117 chip onto the circuit boards. And then this is the 3 watt output. And I will connect the 3.3 watt output to the VCC of the Pro Micro and test whether it works. Okay, it's working. So you can see it's giving power. And then when we charge, put in the USB connector to charge, the battery manager should light up. And this red light here indicates that it's charging. When it finishes charging, it will dim. This is the flash memory chip, Winbond 25Q128. That means 128 bits, 128 megabits, which is 16. We are going to create a small motherboard. So I cut out a section from this type of single side board and quickly align the pins to this. Now we are cutting the contact points of the perf board into half so that the middle 2 pins of the serial flash chip can stand on. These are surface mounted devices. The distance between the pins are half than the original component. So we need to do this trick so we can put this SMD device on the board. The Pro microchip do not have the breakout for D13, D12 and D11. So we need to do the breakout ourselves. We can use very tiny 0.5mm laminated wire and carefully solder these pins onto the 80 mega 32U4 directly. Okay, after half an hour of soldering, we completed soldering of the pins. We have D11, D12, and D13 all soldered into this thin. Plug into this header, and then at the back we have this 13-pin header for the game head. This is the game head, so we can plug in to this 13-pin header like that. Then this is the sound module. It's a piezo speaker. There's no active component, it's all passive. And then we connect to the headphone jack at the end here, which is also connecting to a volume control. So the headphone jack, we can put in any iPhone headphone or any other headphone here. So this is the Pro Micro board. The D11, D12, D13 additional breakout pins have been soldered into this daughter board here. So the wire is coming through from here. And this serial flash chip has been soldered to the other pins on the Pro Micro using the same laminated wire. On top corner here, this is the power module. We've trimmed it down to half the size and connect it to the USB port here. So the raw pin has been connected as the input to this power module. It will give you 5 volt power, and the ground pins are connected to this power module as well. But the output is connected to this 280 mAh LiPo battery, 3.7 volts. So at any time there will be a charging voltage between 3.7 volts or 4.2 volts at this output. This is converted to 3.3 volt by this AMS 1117 3.3 volt regulator. And the regulated output will be the middle pin, which is connected back to the VCC of the Pro Micro. The various pins of the Pro Micro are connected at the back through this hose here to make connection to the OLED header and the game head button header. So that's the whole setup. Let's create a perf board for the button head. So we have a 5 cm times x cm perf board. We're going to chop it down to the same size as our button head. There's our square hole on top, and we need to cut out that hole as well. First we need to do some measurement, and then we can start the cutting. Next, we want to solder these 5 mm times 5 mm silence buttons onto the perf board. So we need to adjust the layout such that we can hold all the buttons in, but they are not too close together. These silent buttons are very good for gaming. When you press on it, there's no clicky sound, so you can play games without people knowing. And then the response is still okay. Next, we're going to solder the 13 pins button header onto the and we can follow the very detailed instruction here to set up Arduino for the homemade package board manager. First thing we need to do is copy this URL for board manager and then go back into Arduino. In the Arduino, click on the preference. There will be the additional board manager, so just copy and paste this homemade package into the URL. Click OK. Then you need to exit Arduino first before it's activated. Start it again to activate that setting. And then we go to Tools, Boards, to select the board manager. Again, Tools, Boards. board manager. And in here we search for the Arduboy. You will find the Arduboy homemade package. You install the latest version, and then also do the updates. Okay, so you will have 1.2.5 installed. Next, we're going to select the homemade Arduboy as a board instead of the Arduboy. The Arduboy is the one that is original in the market. The homemade Arduboy is for the clones and has certain modification. Okay, so once you select this, you need to select the board. So if you follow my instruction, the hardware we should use should be SparkFun Pro Micro 5V standard wiring. So just choose that. Not the alternate wiring. Alternate wiring means the GPIO pins will be different, and they are used to compensate for the lack of breakout pins D11, D12, and D13. So some pins are shifted. But if you follow my instruction, you should be using the standard wiring, because we also solder out the additional breakout pins for D11 to D13. So let's choose that one. And then go back here again. You need to choose the Arduboy optimized core. So the bootloader will have less memory requirements. And then for the display, you need to choose SSD 1306, which is the same as the SSD controller we use for the OLED display. Some of the other available OLED are 1309, but the standard one comes with 1306. Okay, and then for the bootloader, we'll need to change it to CAT 3K. This version will allow us to recognize the serial flash that we can store 500 games and load from it when we play. So let's choose that. So let's go back once more and check things out. Okay, so homemade Arduboy Pro Micro 5V standard wiring, optimized core, SSD 1306, and a CAT 3K bootloader. For the port, you don't need to choose anything because we'll be changing the programmer to USBasp. Now we're going to load the bootloader. Before we do that, we need to make sure we got the USBasp, the one that has the modification for 3V. Make sure we jump the jumper to the 3V selection. Otherwise, it could burn the serial flash. So double check that. And then we insert our special made cable for this Arduboy homemade package. Insert it to the USBasp. Insert the other end to the expansion pin here. So make sure this pin is marked by pin 1. This one is also marked for pin 1. Otherwise, it will not work. So just insert it. And we plug in the USB cable to your computer. If it's successful, you will see the power is applied and the Arduboy blinking. It will be blinking. Because I already programmed it, so you see the Arduboy has boot up, but if it's a fresh device, you will see nothing. So to flash the Arduboy, don't need to double check all these settings. We have the USBasp as the programmer, and then we'll just click Burn Bootloader. But I need to reset my Arduboy to the flash mode first by pressing the reset button. So it's now writing and reading back. Okay, so I can repeat it again. So first reset your Arduboy to the flash mode, and then burn bootloader, writing and reading back. So now it's successful. And then your Arduboy will be restarted with this screen if all is good. If you don't get this screen, that means your serial flash has something wrong. Even though the serial flash is empty, as long as the bootloader detected you got a serial flash, this menu screen will come up. If there's no serial flash, then this one will not come up, and you may get a serial flash error icon. So double check your wiring if you don't get this screen. Next, we can start to put games onto this. We can upload single games through Arduino IDE to the Arduboy without using the serial flash. And it's like compiling any Arduino sketch. Let's see how it's done. There are different ways to find the source code for games. The first one is search for the Arduino community games in Google. You'll find the Arduboy community, and then there's a folder specially for games. There are regular competitions called Game Jam, where people submitted their development of games for people to vote, and then you can download. There are also other posts from all members of the forum. The posts usually contain a link to GitHub, where you can download the game's source and the hex file. We'll talk about how to upload hex files to the Arduboy later. The second method is to search the Arduboy games on GitHub. For example, this one. It's a Pico Vader. It's an Arduboy version of Invader. Now done, and as you can see, the program is running. Press the A button to start game again. You can also upload games to Arduboy by uploading the compiled hex file. To do this, we need to use MR.Blinky's Python utilities. The other way to write Arduboy and the other end to your computer. Then switch it on. We will start loading a previous game like the Space Invader. While it's playing, you can type this command python uploader.py, pasting the full path name of the hex file you want to load for your game. Like this one is the Pico Vaders hex file. And then press enter. So we'll start flashing directly to the 80 MB 32U4 of the Arduboy. And this is done. So this is without using the serial flash. It just loads one game at a time. After loading, the game will start playing by itself, and then you can test. Let's bring back MR.Blinky's GitHub page. So we'll be focusing on the flash card builder, this one, to build the big game file that may contain 500 games. The flash card writer, that means to copy all this single big game file to your Arduboy flash memory. Okay, so first we have to clone this and download the zip file, and then move it to your directory. So I've moved the whole thing into this Arduboy directory. So there are already some sample games that we can download. To build the flash compatible games image, like this one, gamesimage.bin, what you need to do is first to gather all the games you want to create, like these hex files. Find the hex files. You can find it from the GitHub or from other game collection. Sometimes they come with the PNG file. That is a snapshot of the screen that is required for each game. This file needs to be created if you don't get that. For example, I have a list of games in this folder that I couldn't find the PNG file, so I just use some graphical software like PowerPoint to create all this PNG file for the screen. So this screen will be shown in the game selection menu when you boot up your Arduboy. So just type the text there and create this bitmap file. This file will need to be 120 by 64. So like this one. This is 128 by 64 pixels. Okay, so once you gather everything in the right folder, you can edit an Excel file. It's called games.csv, which contain all your games. So let's open with Excel. The first line is how things are supposed to be, and then you need to follow that. Starting from the third row is what you can change. The path and directory syntax of this file follows the operating system you're using. Say if you are using Windows XP, it will be C:/. I'm using the Mac OS X, so it's in Unix path name format. I use / instead of /. And you can see all this directory one by one. Each directory can hold many games. You just need to follow the syntax. The one at the beginning means first directory. And then you go on to fill up all the games in the first directory. And number 2 means second directory. So each directory entry starts with the folder itself, the type of the game or the company that makes the game. Like this one is Team ARG, and so on until the very end. The last game is the one created by MR.Blinky. It's a flashcard utility that will show you the ID number of the flashcard and also show you a long cartoon made up of some utility. So it's a monochrome cartoon, but very nice to watch. Okay, once you created this file, save it in CSV format. in this folder, where you also have the scripts there, and then you can bring up your terminal. I'm using Mac, so I'm using the terminal software. To build the flash, let's reference the syntax, how to build a flash card. Paste it in here and just change the last parameter to what we need, which is games image.bin. So it will be the same as this one. Before we start the upload, we have to connect the USB cable and then click the reset button, so it will be put into a flash mode, and then we hit enter. And then you see the LED is blinking. The flash card ID has been detected. It is a Win1 chip and it has 16 MB of memory. Now it's writing. As long as the red LED keeps blinking, that means it's still writing. So it starts counting how many blocks written, total 2005 blocks. This will go on for a while, around 1 minute, so let's be patient. I fast forward the video so we don't need to wait that long. The actual process took 2 minutes. Okay, it's done now. So after loading, you can press the reset button and the LED will be blinking. Then you can use this left and right key to select the game folder. So remember, we put a lot of games in the archive game folder. Then you can go up and down to select the game you want to play. For example, let's play the E-Wait, which is a very nice game. Press the B button to load it from the flash memory. Once it's done, you will start the game, and then you can follow the button instructions from that game to start it. You can also change the game head while playing. It won't impact the game, so just remove the game head. And I'll be putting in a joystick game head, this one. Using a joystick is much easier. Okay, if you're tired of playing the game, what do? Press the reset button, go back to the game selection menu, and you can select another game. So let's select the racing game. That's the B button. Go down to the racing game. That's the B button to flash it. And press the A button to start. Okay, so when you reset, it will load the menu for a few seconds, and if you press nothing, it will automatically store the previous game, play the previous game. See, so it started the previous game. Or to go back to the previous game, you can press the A button right away, and then it will start the previous game. So it's simple. When you want to change game, press reset, press left or right to go to the right game you want to play. For example, this one, press the B to flash the CPU with the binary loaded from the flash memory, and then you can start playing. Okay, that's it. Enjoy your gaming. If you like my video, please subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe too. I'm going to go over 1,000 subscribers. I'm still missing 200, so really appreciate all your help.